So this is hazardous waste disposal, or at least my idea how to do it that doesn't hurt the environment, so that keeps the environmentalists happy, but it's a safe place to put it, so it can't fall into the wrong hands. So that'll make all of the anti-terrorist, anti-whoever people happy, conservatives, I guess, and it does have some problems though. But I'd say we could load up all of our nuclear waste, and we'd probably have to store it for 5 years or something like that till you ended up with enough to make it worthwhile. But then I think you just stick it into a rocket, and on a regular space mission, astronauts are up there floating around. They just take this rocket and they point it at the sun and they shoot it at the sun. And after it gets going, eventually gravity is going to take its course and pull that nuclear waste, or whatever kind of waste, and take it to the sun, and the sun will burn it up. There's already all kinds of great stuff going on at the sun anyway. I'm sure the sun won't have any trouble incinerating it into nothingness. I mean, if we're already going up into space, we already know how to make rockets. Why don't we just pack that stuff and shoot it out to the sun? Every so often, they spend a space flight up there, and a lot of the countries that are capable of making nuclear waste are already capable of space travel. So, not space travel, but space visiting. But, China could do it, India can do it, North Korea could do it. Of course, North Koreans would probably turn it into some kind of weird way to kill people, is to shoot them into the sun. But, you could also, shoot it over to a planet or an asteroid or something like that. I mean, it's super cold in space. And there's all kinds of little ions and little nuclear particles shooting around anyway. So that might damage the rocket or whatever. But, once it got going and got headed in the right direction, I mean, NASA people are pretty smart. They could probably figure out the best time of the year to do it, so there's the least amount of interference from gravity from other planets, and eventually it will get to the sun. I mean, it's not the speed of light or anything like that. It's going to take a few years to get there, but the sun's the biggest gravitational force around us, and so it's going to pull that little puppy in there, and we won't have to worry about it. Some of the problems I think there might be is, if we shoot it to Mars or something like that, then, if we end up going to Mars and building a colony there, we're not going to want to mess around with nuclear waste over there. So, to me, the sun makes the most sense for our current situation. Although I don't know what a bunch of nuclear waste is going to do to the sun, if it's going to cause huge solar flares or something like that could end up getting spewed out and then damaging the Earth. I don't know. If we could come up with a guided missile of some kind, we could send the missile up to the top of the sun or the bottom of the sun, where, if there was a solar flare or something over there, it wouldn't come towards the Earth. But like I said, I mean, it's going to take so many years to get to the sun that humans are either going to kill each other by then, or they're going to figure out a way to be protected from something like that. Or, maybe we'd be living on Mars by then anyway. So that's my idea on nuclear waste. Maybe in the distant future, we just shoot it into a black hole, and, I'm not going to go in the black hole to find out what's on the other side. So, we'll just dump that stuff off in a black hole. It's kind of like the bottomless garbage can of the universe. You know, the sun is the incinerator of the universe, and then a black hole is the garbage can of the universe. And I think that'd be a great solution to our current problem. I mean, how many millions of dollars do we have tied up in the mountains in Nevada or wherever it is to, you know, first of all, you got to safely store it so it doesn't leak, and then you got to safely put it someplace so it, you know, doesn't fall into the wrong hands, and then you got to pay all these people to do all these things, and I'm sure it's not a cheap endeavor. I mean, it's got to be a lot cheaper to, you know, take a big metal tube and, you know, we've already got rockets made. We could just stick a rocket in a tube and fill the rocket, instead of filling it with a nuclear warhead, just fill it with a bunch of nuclear waste. I mean, it's got to be cheaper to do that. We're already flying out into space anyway. You know, we're wasting a lot of time doing a lot of stupid things instead of really trying to, you know, how long has it been since we've been to the moon? But you know, while we're up there, we might as well do something productive and get rid of our deadly nuclear waste. I think that makes a lot of sense. So let me know what you think.